बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनादिरावनचारी 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 जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधा गोपीनाथ राधे राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्ठिकी Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagat Bade Govisa Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Dhruvasya Grubhasanta Bhaivacha Paditana Pavane Pyo Vaishnave Pyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Tadvaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for Sunday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. I'm extremely thankful for all of you for taking your valuable time to be this today morning. We'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter number 14, text number 5. There is a discussion between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. So we'll discuss about the sloka, then we'll discuss about that meaning also, purport of Srila Prabhupada. Maitreya Uvacha Sadhu Vira Taya Prishtam Avatara Kadam Hare Yatvam Prachami Mrityanam Mrityupasam Visadanam. The translation: the great sage Maitreya said, O warrior, the inquiry made by you is just befitting a devotee because it concerns the incarnation of personality Godhead. He is a source of liberation from the chain of birth and death for all those who are otherwise destined to die. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Vadiki J. Purport: the great sage Maitreya addressed Vidura as a warrior, not only because Vidura belonged to Kuru family, but because he was anxious to hear about the chivalrous activities of the Lord in his incarnation of Varaha and Nrsimha. Because the inquiries concerned the Lord, they were perfectly befitting a devotee. The devotee has no taste for hearing anything mundane. There are many topics of mundane warfare, but a devotee is not inclined to hear them. The topic of the warfare in which the Lord engages do not concern the war of death, but the war against the chain of Maya, which obliges one to accept the repeated birth and death. In other words, one who takes delight in hearing the war topic of Lord is relieved from the chain of birth and death. The foolish people are suspicious of Krishna taking part in battle of Kurukshetra, not knowing that he is taking part ensured liberation from all who were on battlefield. It is said, Bhishma Deva, that all who were present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original spiritual existence after the death. Therefore, hearing the war topic of Lord is as good as any other devotional service. Om Ajnana Jaram Dasya Jananjala Salakaya Shakshunun Vritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhisam Sabidam Yena Budale Vayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadadita Padandikam Vandeham Sigurum Sripadagamadam Sigurun Vaishnavam Che Sri Rupam Sagrajatham Sagana Raghunatha Amsajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parjana Sagidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagana Lalita Sa Visakha Vadam Che Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bodhale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadini Pashya Shri Sarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sadvaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Welcome all the devotees. I'm extremely thankful for Paramadayal Prabhu for keeping me engaged. At least we had opportunity to read and say something about what we read. It's a great opportunity. And I'm just today is actually Shri Varaha Dwadasi, actually very auspicious. So we'll discuss about. I had opportunity of going through our Radhanath Swami Maharaj lecture. Based on that, I'm just prepared. So it is very nice. Maharaj, whatever Maharaj says, he is coming to the basic point of Krishna consciousness. Maharaj, whatever Maharaj give a lecture, any topic, he comes to the basic topic of Krishna consciousness. Why we chant? What is the association of duty? That's important. When we chant, when we go through this the Maharaj lecture, how he is emphasizing on the association of duty, will come to know. So the same that Varagadev's appearance we will see now. Maharaj, first beginning of the lecture, he says, we read, Maitreya Muni is asking, Vidura is asking Maitreya Muni. Actually, Vidura was removed from Hastinapur by Duryodhana. But since he is asked always question which Duryodhana, Vidura was asking, giving what is the proper, but nobody was talking except Vidura. So actually, Duryodhana got very much angry with Vidura in asking you leave. So, and he is written in such a way, Vidura, such a saintly person, is a devotee of Lord. While going, that is also you can say, when you offend a devotee, your destruction is already, you are destined to your destruction. When Duryodhana chastised Vidura while leaving, he said, somehow I am giving a breath. You leave with the same cloth. He is not allowed to go and meet his family also. Just from there only run. Otherwise, I will take your life. That was threat Duryodhana gave. Since Vidura was a saintly person, he did not do any curse against Duryodhana. He could have cursed him. He got a capacity to curse. But he said he was so much compassionate at Duryodhana. He said, out of sympathy, he said, this is the Krishna's plan. I have to leave now. So that he left happily. He left. While going different places, he happened to meet Maitreya Muni. Maitreya Muni is asking Maitreya Muni about, tell me the pastimes of Lord. So that's why Maharaj says, if you hear the pastimes from a devotee and non-devotee, there are two things can happen. But since the devotees are already like a person like Maitreya Muni, such a saintly person, is always carrying Krishna in his heart. Whatever he speaks, it transforms Vidura. Similarly, if you listen to the few devotees, their narration of Varahadev, narration of Nrsimhadev, all it transforms the heart. That if you take the same story from the non-devotee, it will not have the potential to transform the heart. That's why Maharaj insisted here, we should always hear this Krishna Kada in association of devotees. But in the association of devotees, what happened? Your environment with your devotees is very good. You will be able to associate with same type of mindset. So your vibration is good. And also whatever the speaker speaks, and the hearer also will be able to grab. The potential of the speaker and the capacity of the listener is most important. See, now Maharaj also says here, very important thing is, when we are chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, we want Krishna to enter into our life. That is why the pleading to Krishna, please engage me. Radha Krishna, please engage me. That's the meaning of Hare Krishna mantra. But only Maharaj says, we cannot force Krishna to appear through the name also. So Krishna will appear on his own sweet will. But our endeavor should be always there to serve him. When we have an endeavor to please Krishna on his own accord, he will come. One day we should have that much faith. The Krishna consciousness is working on us. That much faith we should have. So here, Vidura is asking for Maitreya Muni, even though he is very intimate, he has seen Krishna many times, but he wants to hear from Krishna, from Maitreya Muni, so that he will transform the heart. So we have to see that even though these Pandavas and Vidura were closely associated with Krishna, they did not say, no, I know everything. Actually, in one sense, Vidura is closely associated with Krishna, then Maitreya Muni. Why you want to hear from Maitreya Muni is very important. Maitreya Muni is a self-realized soul. He is a self-realized soul. He is living in a forest. He is with a detachment. So that the Maharaj also says, if you give a respect to a person who is detached, automatically we advance in Krishna consciousness. These are some of the philosophical points Maharaj gives in the lecture, apart from just narrating about the story. That's why the very important of Krishna consciousness is emphasize the basic point of association with the devotee. And hearing from the devotees emphasized here. So Maharaj also one of the important point it makes is, even though many devotees, we are coming to satsang, many devotees of satsang, the same lecture of one of the devotee we give a lecture can transform the heart of one person. It will not transform the heart of another person. It's not necessarily person who is attending the satsang, everybody heart should get transformed. Maharaj, important point is giving is, it depends on the person who hears. If you observe with sincerity and a prayerful mood, you'll be able to at least imbibe some of the basic point which is giving. Otherwise, it will be a theoretical. Just like we are reading newspaper, we are reading the Srimad. If you have that approach like that, nothing will enter the heart. For purifying the heart, we should listen with an appealing mind, with a begging. That like a child, Prabhupada gives an example of the child crying for the mother. We have no hope in this material world. That's why when we go through this particular this one, main emphasis is we have hope in this material world. That we have to understand. But this we understood by many examples. Our own examples also we come to know. When we have a problem, nobody around us will help us. Suppose even in the case of this corona thing we have seen, who can help us? Even doctors cannot help. The situation is such a way we have to depend only on Krishna. But now he is also saying, Maharaj said one of the quoted, Bhaktaya tu ananya shakya aham eva vidu Arjuna. Krishna says the devotion can be understood only by it can be revealed only through a devotee. It cannot be revealed by non-devotees. See the holy name, the holy name, everybody has got a holy name. And sometimes we see the deity's form also. The deity where we go for darshan and we visit Dham. We are having we are associated very paraphernalia of the Lord. But for these to transform our heart, any one of them can transform our heart. It can reveal to the heart. Depends, as I said earlier, depends on how much you are taking the association, how much you are taking serious in association, how much you have faith in this taking association. Even though we chant the holy name, if we chant the holy name with a faith, it has got its own impact. If we chant the holy name as a ritual, as a duty we do, that has got impact. That's why Maharaj is saying it depends on how much emphasis, how much faith we have in the process. And this process is also not important. It is not this one ordinary. The process has been practiced by time immemorial from many of our acharyas. Recently, Lord Chaitanya himself came. This particular Hare Krishna mantra is given by Lord himself in the form of a devotee. That's one of the benefit we got. Even though Kali Yuga has got so much of anartha, so much of defects. Since we are closely, we are the only 500 years, Prabhupada says only 500 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. We can see he has revealed through his pastime, many of the literatures are there. So we are very close to Krishna actually. Even though Krishna has appeared in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his merciful form, because he is exhibited to us how we should practice Krishna consciousness. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood the Kali Yuga is very, very difficult for a person to do any devotional service. That's why he mercifully took the form of a devotee and exhibited to us how simple is the process in Kali Yuga. That's why in this Kali Yuga, the demigods want to appear in the Kali Yuga, especially the Bharatvarsha, to take the holy name, the process. So we also have to take seriously this holy name of Hare Krishna mantra chanting through our heart so that it purifies. And actually we can go to the spiritual world in this life itself. And what is the process we have to adopt by going to the spiritual world? Gopi Paradur, Padakamalor, Padakamalayur, Das, Dasana, Das. So many times that our Prabhupada also emphasized in many of the lectures, only be a servant of Krishna. You will be knowing this entire the Veda, Upanishad, everything you will be knowing. Unless you have an attitude of a servant, then not only servant, directly or not only of Krishna servant of Krishna. If you have this kind of attitude of a humble, what is our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasizes, Trinadavi Sunishana, Tarorubi Sagishana, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtanaya Sadahari. This is only the key point. Whatever you know, whatever you don't know, that's important. How you become humble to take the humble position. In listening to a devotee who has realized Krishna. And whether you are prepared to do seva for him. And whether not only that you are able to help somebody who is spreading the mission of Krishna conscious, you are able to do some help, whatever your capacity. These are the point Krishna takes very seriously. It is not that we should have a complete study of Sastra, we become the Jnani. That's not a prerequisite. And you do not have to be a karmi also. You need not to do very work hard. Please Krishna with your donation. That's not required. You should become a humble attitude. Humble attitude means that our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was given a Tunadavishnuvishana. So you should be humble like a grass. You have walked on a grass many times. If you walk on the grass, the grass doesn't protest. Just allows himself bend down. Similarly, what the tree does, the tree is in spite of the heavy wind, very what is called severe cold or a very extreme heat. The tree is standing always, and one of the nature of the tree is always helping others. In kind of summer, it gives a shade. In kind of winter, in kind of monsoon season, it protects some other the animals to come below the tree and take protection. And not only that, it gives the entire wood out of that for giving for burning. And if somebody is cutting the tree also, it doesn't protest. So we should be tolerant. And also don't expect respect from others. The main problem in the middle world, how the problem comes in the middle world is we expect some respect from others. Maharaj also said, when you expect respect means you will become quarrelsome. Very, very analysis point. Maharaj has analyzed very nicely. The moment you expect respect, you will get into quarrel because nobody is respecting me. But if you say you respect others, automatically respect will come to you. By default, you'll get respect. These are some of the points where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught is very basic point. This is actually important for our spiritual progress. So what is important is by the process of become humility, what happens? You accept the lower position. You can purify your heart. So what is important for the entire process of spirituality to Krishna consciousness work? Purification of the heart. Purification of this, we have got so much anarthas in that. That lust, greed, anger, pride, so many things anarthas are there. Because unless you accept the position of humble means you are nobody here. We are insignificant. For everything, we are dependent on God. You accept this position. Without God, you can't get up in the morning also. When you sleep also, for getting a proper sleep also, the God has to help you to put it to sleep. And He has to wake you up. If He's not waking up, whatever is there, you won't be able to. After waking up also, you should remember around you what is happening, where you are living, all this. Sometimes you have to forget also. All these things are given by God Himself, Krishna. Without Lord, without Krishna, you can't even think of living even a few seconds, few moments. With that, when you understand your humility, you understand your insignificant position, automatically become humble. Now, on humility, you can learn from others also. What is important of a saintly person is he himself lives humbly. He's not. You see any of these the saintly person, they will not be puffed up. And they say we don't know anything. When somebody says I don't know anything, you should know he knows everything. But somebody says I know everything, you should know he is ignorant. So these are the basic things of spirituality. And Vidura, when he left home, he came to Maitrimani. He was roaming around the places. So he was asking Maitrimani, can you tell me the story of Varahadev? He started studying the Varahadev story. Varahadev story is like that. So once the Brahmas, four Kumaras was the first son of Brahma. And Brahma requested them for increasing the population to get married. And you help me to get this population, this increase of population. These four Kumaras basically rejected the father's appeal. Then he actually, that time Brahma got angry. You are supposed to listen to what I say. Since you are not listening to me, you will become very terrifically angry. From the third eye, that Shiva came. Rudra came. So after that, Brahma blessed him. He understood that four Kumaras doesn't want to get married. They blessed him. You remain as a brahmachari. They went to the different places. They're actually originally they were Brahmavadis. They know about Brahman only. They are not devotees. What happened? They were the same bodily. They were only 4 years. That they were of. They never grow. They remain always in the, after their age up to the 4 years. They're looking like that. They went to the different places. Then they thought, well, let us go to Vaikuntha. They happened to go to Vaikuntha in the same form. There were stated 7 gates on Vaikuntha. 6 gates they could pass through without any problem. When the 7th gate, under Maharaj described these Vaikuntha's advanced just for understanding, all the gates were they're made of gold, rubies, diamond, emerald. All these detective jewels were there in this. With this, they went. They were very happily the concentrating. They were going there. When they came to the 7th gate, the two of these gatekeepers, Jay and Vijay, they stopped them. You cannot go in the dress. These are only pure devotees are allowed. You are not allowed to go there. So now these 4 Kumaras are thinking the Vaikuntha is without any what is the differentiation between dualities. How these particular the gatekeepers are introducing the concept of materialism aspect. This is good, this is bad. Here, that Vaikuntha, everything is good. How he is not able to understand this like that? He got little angry. In the angry in the angry mood, he cursed that you are unfit to be here, Jay and Vijay. So you are unfit to be a gatekeeper. Your conscience is not spiritual. Like that, they were this one. When actually, when the particular episode took place there, immediately Vishnu came to know there is an commotion taking place at the entrance of this Vaikuntha. Immediately Vishnu came along with Lakshmi there to the spot. And actually, the Vishnu was asking this one, these 4 Kumaras, my servant employee made a mistake. Kindly excuse them, because this is actually this is my mistake. See how the Vishnu is very. You have to understand what is the consciousness of Vishnu. What should be our consciousness? Here, the Maharaj emphasized very nicely. The employer has to take the responsibility of employee. Even though we are sold, we are sold, we are independent. We are independent. Whatever do karma, actually we have to suffer. Similarly, the mistake of Jay and Vijay, actually they have to suffer. Here, how responsible Lord Vishnu is, you have to understand that. Just understand the mindset of Vishnu. He was happily staying with Lakshmi. Lakshmi was massaging. Immediately left from there, came to the spot, and where this commotion taking place, you want to understand what is the problem. There is one concept of in the legal aspect is called vicarious liability. Whenever employee does any mistake, employee is responsible. So this concept came from Vishnu actually. So he could have remained aloof there, and these people would have suffered. But he is responsible for his employee. He comes there, he is asking, so whatever done has happened, I admit that mistake of this one, and he is asking them, let them go to the middle world, because this conscience cannot in this video. You understood? I am not disturbing. But only one favor I wanted is, I want them to come back as quickly as possible. So the Vishnu, when Vishnu is telling, you give a curse, let them go back. But only thing is, let them come as quickly as possible. I want to the association of them. See, you have to understand from this, what is the magnanimity of conscience of Vishnu. He doesn't disown the devotee. This is one of the instructions of one of the what is called one of the lesson we should learn from is that even though we are practicing devotees, we will make mistake. Like Jai Vijay will make number of mistakes. When we are in the process of Krishna consciousness, as Sachinanda Maharaj says in one of the holy name he has described, moment a person says once Krishna, we become his property. And also Maharaj also emphasized there, our name is noted in the diary of Krishna in his own personal diary. He is keeping our name inside. So when you understand, when Jay and Vijay made a mistake, they did not worry much about that. He's got a good master. When somebody has got a good master, why you should worry about his mistake? It is a part of a job. Similarly, when Vishnu came there and protected him, they were so happily. They were given a choice. You want to be in the middle world for seven lifetime as a devotee, or you come back within 3 times as a demon. Which you want? You that the choice is given to the Jaya Vijay. He said, I can be a demon, but I cannot miss your association for long. I want to come quickly as possible. That's why they took this birth in different incarnations as Ramana, Kumbhakarna, and also Sisubala, Dandavakra. And one more is here, Hiranyakashipu, Nanaksha. They were cursed. But actually, in this process, you understand, association of devotee is very, very important. Actually, it is important for both. Vishnu also wanted Jaya Vijay association. Jaya Vijay also wanted Vishnu association. They are prepared to go through any kind of problem. They are prepared to go to hell, abuse them as a demon. That doesn't mind. There, they cannot live without. They cannot live in a separation for a long time. So, in this process of this lesson, what we learn is, so since we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we may be a beginner, we may be neophytic, and we are just starting. We are struggling. So many anarthas we have. But moment a person chant Hare Krishna with sincerity, and whatever endeavor is possible within our best is, you best assured Krishna is going to take us back. He is not going to. He is not like a ungrateful master. We have to, this is the quality of why we are glorifying the Krishna means. This is a magnanimous quality nobody will have. That one quality of Vishnu is more than enough for us to surrender. You not go to other qualities as well. He is having the Bhagavan, opulent. We are not looking for those opulence, etc. When we have a master who is merciful, he is able to condone our mistake. He is able to always keep us in any time, any situation. This is more than enough for us. Here, Maharaj gives one more example. Sachin Maharaj gives one more example also. This is very, very appealing to me actually. When a child makes a mistake, the parents, father and mother, doesn't disown the child. He corrects the child and keep the child with him lovingly. He takes care of very, very specially because he creates some trouble. He is a naughty boy. So some care has to be taken. Similarly, Vishnu also, if we make mistake, as a Paramatma in our heart, he gives very nice signal to us. Kindly do, Baba, don't do that. He protects us. That's one of the important thing is, since we are closer to Paramatma, actually we have to only open our heart to Paramatma, come and give some guidance to us. When we sincerely pray to Paramatma, Paramatma will guide us. There is one nice prayers you can make whenever you have difficulty. One of the prayer is, their Lordship, Sri Sri Radha Krishna is always with me. If you have this kind of small prayer, you have to acknowledge that's what is awareness. Awareness means acknowledging somebody spiritual, some spiritual potency in your life. You are not alone. The journey to spirituality is very far and difficult also. It's very, very cumbersome. Normally, person cannot go. But this kind of prayer, if you make this kind of prayer, sometime you will get a very nice realization. Sajjana Maharaj also says, if you chant the holy name, Krishna can appear in three kind of three ways. Krishna can appear. One Maharaj says he can appear directly to you. That only fortunate people can get. One, he can appear through your thoughts. Some thoughts you may get, some special thought you want to do more chanting, something you will differently get. One is through directly you come, only through the thought. And also, sometimes you have association of very saintly person. Through them you will get instruction. Krishna may not come directly to us. Sometimes you are fortunate you will get. Through them you will get some instruction. The Krishna can appear for us in any of the three ways. So, the material world is full of disharmony. Disharmony means there is no, nobody wants to get along with people. But in the spiritual world, is full of harmony. So when Vishnu and this one Sanat Kumar and as well as Jay and Vijay were there, they now immediately thought these people, demand has to immediately leave. They can't even stay for some time. So one other thing is here you can find a fault with these four Kumaras. Four Kumaras, they got angry. See, the angry between the materialistic and spiritual person is this very important thing is the angry of the materialist people come out of lust. Here, these four Kumaras cursed these Jay and Vijay out of transcendental anger. The difference between materialist anger and transcendental anger, Maharaj explained very nicely. Materialist anger, you want to satisfy the ego. Here, for their good, you become angry. We see the example of Hanuman. Hanuman became angry with Ravan because he was harassing Sita. Other Sita was harassing. Similarly, Arjuna got angry and fighting with Kurus because they are doing all adharmas. So getting angry is not a problem. Whether you're using for your selfish purpose or for better good for others. Here, the angry of this one, Jay and Vijay, actually had promoted them to the different level. Jiva Jivasya Jivana. That's one of the formula of the middle bodies. Over is mighty will win. So here, that in the middle concept doesn't work in the spiritual world. You have seen the conscience of our Vishnu. What is the conscience of Vishnu? He asked the Sanat Kumar, can I intervene in that? You are given the curse. Can I come back immediately? Let them give a choice like that. He pleaded to him. He did not say and whatever. And he modified the curse of Sanat Kumar. See, the Vaikuntha people leave aside that personal ambition. Their ambition is only how to please Krishna, how to serve him. In this middle world, if you see, the middle world, there is no pleasing for Krishna. Everybody want to please their ego. And here Maharaj gives one of the instruction is, Prabhupada has given instruction to all the devotees while he was passing away to make the devotees have Krishna consciousness as Vaikuntha consciousness. What is the Vaikuntha consciousness? Just so we discuss about, there is always harmony. Harmony means when you 2% meets, when the two vessels are put together, they will always make some noise. Prabhupada also says one of the examples with one of his disciples, whenever two people are there, whenever two vessels are, there will be always some friction, some misunderstanding. This is quite natural. The middle world is designed in such a way, there will be always conflict. But harmony in what? We are having a higher purpose behind us, in front of us, higher purpose. In order to please Krishna, we have to tolerate many of these urges of this material world. One of the urges material world is fight, misunderstanding. My way has to be accepted. Otherwise, like that, these kind of conscience will come. Moment you say the harmony in the spirituality means you have to leave aside all those things. The ego is not in the picture. You are serving Krishna is in the picture. So for that, you have to move, and you should be the example of that. Prabhupada also says, and Maharaj also said in the lecture, if 2% is there is a big fight in the 2%. The one person who yield first is considered a great devotee. If both are in the same sticking to this one, there will be no end. So a person who is qualified, that's called Madhya Adhikari or Uttama Adhikari, they take the lower position even though they are required to be a certain example. Here see from the example of Vishnu. Vishnu, as I told you, Vishnu could have remained aloof. He's not affected at all. He has got so many people to glorify, so many people are waiting there. Brahma, all these people are waiting to his darshan. Why he came here? We took responsibility as the employee. So similarly, we have to understand when we do something, progress. Maharaj says, we should be the example. How Vishnu is example for his in his Dham. Vaikuntha Dham, he set an example. This should be a protocol. When some mistake is made here, I am responsible. Similarly, when we are practicing devotees, we also, somebody is looking for us also as a leader. Somebody is looking at an example as a role model. We will not be knowing. Some people are watching just to see how you behave. So if our behavior is going to make that person in Krishna conscious, that is a real preaching. Preaching is not only by giving lecture. By your example, you are setting example to others to follow. They are able to imbibe your quality. That's an example. Similarly, if a small beginning is made in our life, to practice become position of humble. And even though there is some kind of a fight between the two different devotees, you take a humble position and say that sorry, ask for forgiveness. These are something expression the middle world is given. The word sorry, the forgiveness, I made a mistake. You should, that's why if if a person is great, he accepts his mistake. The proud person will never accept the mistake. You can understand whether the person is proud and humble by only this, only by watching one or two activities. So I discussed about this, Trinada Vishnu, that sloka already discussed. So when you do kirtan, when we do the standing kirtan or sitting kirtan, what it happens? There's some harmony is created among us. Harmony that actually when we are doing kirtan, sometimes we don't know whether we exist also. We just, our mind is so much focused in the holy name, so much absorbed in the nice environment, so much so much kind of kind of atmosphere is created in such a way, we forget our middle existence itself. That is the conscious of Krishna conscious. That's why we should be grateful to our Srila Prabhupada, who has created a platform for all of us to come and practice Krishna conscious, not only in the temple, at home. That's why when we get up in the morning, what Prabhupada says, and also Subhalas also gave another lecture, what is the greatest task you want to do in a day? You have to start that, you did a first priority. When you want to achieve some big goal, you have got a target. You have to target that first. Similarly, our target for all of us is chanting the holy name in the Brahma Murta is our target. We have know the target. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, they say those things are secondary. When your goal is fixed, I want to satisfy Krishna. This Yuga Dharma is given only by Hare Krishna mantra. I have to chant first in the morning. First in the morning is as soon as I get up, take a bath, chant with the Jamamala. Then you see that particular day, how it goes as. I'm extremely thankful to Rangnath Chandru and all the devotees who are coming in the morning. Really helped me for so many months now. I'm now enjoying chanting actually. You can see, after so many years, I was struggling, it was very mechanical. It's going just as a duty since I've taken initiation. These days, I'm somehow our Paramadayal Guru has shared his Sachinanda Maharaj quote. Very useful. Small changes. If you make a small changes in your life schedule, your spirituality will be bliss. Otherwise, we can't struggle with something we don't want to do with our heart. So what is the Krishna consciousness? You have to make the Krishna consciousness in such a way you practice very happily. How to practice happily? Unless you have a knowledge, the Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. He is an enjoyer, he is a protector, he is only a benefactor. He is a well-wisher friend. This is a small thing which we learn from our so many lectures. Repeated lecture, this is the essence lecture. When you understand, these are the something which are very simple to practice. And why the Prabhupada and the Maharaj, all the people are chanting, 99% of devotion, spiritual progress in coming in by chanting. This is actually a fact. Why we can't do this? Because our mind has to be focused. For controlling the mind, there is no other way. By reading the shelf-help book, watching YouTube, all these are useless. Because the mind is restless, turbulent. Even our Arjuna, when those years he has said, but the Kali Yuga, so much distraction, the morning to evening, people are sitting with that this mobile only. What? So much distraction. For focusing the mind, only at least 2 hours. You keep the mobile outside as if your mobile doesn't exist. Chant one day and see how it makes a difference in your life. Now, this we discuss about this one. And one of the sloga from your Srimad Bhagavatam is Mukuntanam Abhisiddhanam Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prasantanam Kotishu Abhi Mahamuni. Out of many millions, one may become a devotee and it is very rare. So we have to be we should be humbly proud that we are connected to a process which is Narayana Parayan. Narayana Parayana, we are dear to Narayan. Dear to Narayan means when we a person chant Hare Krishna mantra with good intention, with the backing of our disciplic succession. You have to understand one very important thing is we are not struggling alone. Some devotee is praying for us. So in these the story of Hanuman, when Hanuman was cursed by, when he was naughty child, when he was creating so many troubles initially, one saint has cursed him. And while giving a curse to Hanuman, when somebody reminds you, then only you will come to know the power. Then that power, the Hanuman power, Jambavan, no. Jambavan told Hanuman, you are powerful, you have got so much this. Similarly, for us also, some devotees are praying for us. So you understand, when we are in Krishna consciousness, we are staying means somebody who is very, very well-wisher for us is praying for our protection. For example, our Guru Maharaj, our Parambara, our Srila Prabhupada, those devotees are praying. That's why it is not that easy thing to remain Krishna conscious. Many is not easy thing. With this so much of anarthas, so much of atmosphere happening in the material world, and people get easily distracted. Why we are not distracted? Somebody is praying for us. And also Prabhupada says, similarly, we should also pray for somebody. As I told you, when you want respect from some other, what you have to do? You have to respect others. Similarly, when you want somebody to pray for you, we should also pray for others. It's simple. What goes around will come around. If you pray for others, somebody will pray for you. This is the material world is designed in such a way, each is dependent on others. And actually, we will see the story of, I will stop in another 2 minutes. And we see the story of Viswamitra, such a powerful saint, How he got doomed. He went alone, he practiced meditation. Similarly, if you think, I understood this mantra from Hare Krishna mantra of ISKCON devotee, I sit at home, practice. It doesn't work. It will be most, because when a person is away from association devotee, fall down is important. Fall down is by default, you fall down. We will learn from this the story of Bharat Maharaj also. Bharat Maharaj was practicing. He is what is called now? He is self-realized person. From when he was a king itself, he went to the forest. Since he stayed alone, he got deviated. Similarly, what is our protection? Whether we like the devotees or not, we should be always surrounded by devotees. They are the people who will tell us some mistake is there. They will only point at us. If we are our own mistake, nobody can understand. That intelligent Krishna is not given to us. Somebody has to tell this is our mistake. Prabhu, you are making mistake. Then because of our costless mercy of some devotee, we can remain in Krishna consciousness a longer time, and we will be able to obtain perfection automatically. It's not that much faith we should have, because Prabhupada has created the process in such a way we can this one. And we did not talk about Varahadev. 2 minutes I'll finish you about Varahadev. See what happened when 4 Kumaras cursed. They should go down. Same time, Diti and Hiranyakashipu, they were having a discussion. And see, actually, 13 daughters were of Daksha, were married to one minute. Krishna. Kashyapa. See, 13 daughters of this one married Kashyap. What happened now? Only Diti didn't have a child. So somehow, he got envy with the other. Actually, they were sisters only. He said, "I want a child." So he was telling me, Kashyapa was telling me, kindly wait for a proper time. This is not a proper time for this one. And then she was not prepared. And she also warned, this is a time where the Shiva will be going along with the mini ghost. You avoid it for a few seconds, then probably nothing. Since he was insisted, and then Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha was born. And the moment Hiranyaksha was born, Hiranyaksha wanted to show his power. He went directly to Varahadev and challenged the ocean god. It's not he went to Varuna and challenged the ocean god, come for a fight. Varuna said, I am old, I cannot fight with you. You go to Vishnu. He directly went to Vishnu and started. I know he went to this one. He went to this. You want to start removing the gold from there, and the gold, when you started removing the gold from there, they were tilted and went to the Garbhadaksha ocean. It fell down, and all these demigods went to Brahma and said, "There is, you have to do something. No, this demon is creating a lot of trouble." Then Brahma said, "Let us go to Vishnu." Then they went to Vishnu, and Vishnu take this form of Varahadev and boat form and fought with Inaksha. It was killed. It was killed in no time. What Vishnu did? First, they retrieved his head and put it in the proper place and came for the fight. And with the hoof only, he killed him. With the tusk, he killed him. First, his hoof only, he made a unconscious Inaksha, and with his tusk, he killed him. That is a. And also, Maharaj described very beautifully, even though Varahadev in the boat form, he was so beautiful, so magnificent. All the demigods started praising Varahadev and for his killing this Hiranyakashipu. And then the story goes like that. And about the three times I told you, one is Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakashipu and Ramana Kumbhakarna, Dandavakra and Sisubala. And after the 3 times, they went to the spiritual world. They again reunited with the Lord. This is the essence of the story, because the story is a big one. We can discuss now. Time is already up. Sorry, I took 10 minutes more, Prabhupada bro. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
We'll end now.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare. Is there any questions, devotees?
Yeah.
Comments?
Thank you, bro. The Rangachan bro. Which is not there. Then no question is there. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, now I got unmuted. I was muted earlier. Yeah, nice class, bro. Very nice, and very practical.
Thank you.
Many times we tend to speak so much of philosophy and the story, but then we forget the practical side of it. But I found this class very practical, and particularly on chanting, you have given so much of stress. So I think that will influence many people to join us for the morning chanting session.
Yeah, morning class. Yeah. Because thank you, Bri. You are coming every day meticulously for so many months. Actually, it's not an easy task. Because of you, I am also getting disciplined now. So I'm able to get up in the morning, do something. Actually, Paramadev God is helping us with his connection. So many devotees are there. I'm extremely thankful for all the devotees coming in the morning.
Influence of your association, Prabhu.
Thank you, please. Thank
you. So positive. You are so positive in everything.
Yeah. You should be positive, actually.
Thank you so much.
The process given Prabhupada is very simple, no?
That's correct. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhupada.
And yeah.
Okay, we'll end. Actually, already. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Mataji is there? Sabita Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
As Ranganath has said, Prabhu, it was very practical, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, as far as chanting is concerned, Prabhu, you said that Krishna can come in 3 ways.
Yeah.
One of the ways is, as you said, can come in thoughts.
Yeah, one is directly can come, one through the thought, and through other. Some good thoughts will come. No, suddenly you want to practice from one level to another level. You want to go. You want to do seva. Something will come. No, you want to get some detached from the middle world. Something will happen.
Prabhu. Like in the morning when I was chanting today, to be honestly, when I was chanting today, though we are not in live recordings, we don't come in live camera because data is very slow. So while chanting, if I am having a thought of Krishna, as if I'm serving him, as well as I'm doing my chanting, both the things can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. It can be done. Maharaj says, Prabhupada says we should listen. If thought comes, it's okay. It's good, no? Don't emphasize for thought to come or paraphilia. That's why Maharaj, Raghunath Guru also says, don't forcefully try to do something. If it comes, let it come. That's good, no?
So that my conscience is very clear. That is okay. No, Prabhu?
That's good, uplifting, no? It's good actually.
Prabhu, I just wanted to ask that.
It's good.
Yes,
you're
Prabhu.
getting
Thank you very
message,
much for the
Krishna.
class, Prabhu.
Thank you, very. Haribol, Radha Priya Mataji.
Radha Priya Mataji is not well today.
Oh, Krishna.
Yeah. So she is not. She has not joined the class today. Because,
Okay.
She goes to Ponda for some treatment. No.
She went there.
She went there yesterday, but then she's feeling a little uncomfortable. So
She's not going today.
today I don't know, Sunday.